Have you left a toxic relationship or marriage, but blame yourself for leaving and not hanging in there to continue to try to work it out? Here it is. As a life architect, I'm helping women based on my experience and my education and life coaching and hollow body health coaching, as well as hypnotherapy, to dig through into the issues that were surrounding their failed marriages or relationships so that they can repair that and heal and move on. But here it is, I was keeping a secret. I hadn't been dealing with my own ish. I had been with my ex for 10 years before we got married. And after we got married, that's when everything changed. I mean, everything was the same in terms of the day-to-day. I was still traveling 40% of the time for my job. But almost immediately, I saw this change in him. And my Latina friends from different cultures, they all said about the same thing. Once we made it legal, I became his property. And seeing his behavior change from cursing out his mom to throwing accusations at me. I even took his last name because he kept saying I was hiding him. And if I really wanted people to know I was married, then that's what I would do. I was tired of fighting. And so I took his name. Ironically, no one knew that we were married that first year, because at this point I was thinking, should I let it go? Can I do this? But I was like, okay, I have to work this out. And so, 50% of the time, things would be like perfect. I loved being with him. But then there was the other times when I was traveling. It was like Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. It was like constant accusations. I would have to FaceTime him for hotel checks to make sure that there were no men in my room. When I would be out with my team in other countries, I have to FaceTime with him so that he can see who I was with. And then if there were any meetings that were at a hotel, it was a complete nightmare. And it just got to the point where I could not take the accusations any longer. But when the marriage ended, it took me some time to get over him, because here it is, I thought this man was my soulmate. And I'm like, but he's my soulmate. How can he keep hurting my mind the way that he was doing? And for almost 6 years now, I put on blinders. I couldn't feel, I couldn't see any men giving me attention or adoring me or admiring me. I didn't want to see it. I locked that part of myself away because I was scared to get involved in another relationship, because this was failed marriage number 2. So it wasn't until this physical coupling a few times over the summer with someone who wasn't even my type. And it wasn't even about attraction, which is the weird part. But it made me realize that I miss having a man in my life. But I had to work on myself first before I can receive what I was seeking. How can I authentically help other women when I was scared of relationships? I had to get raw. I had to become a real ass woman. And then I had to go to war on myself. Because you know what it says according to the universe, like attracts like. Or what we focus on is what we're going to bring to us. And I just thought about when we were together, I felt so protected because he would just be primed to defend. His body would be like tense like a wildcat. And then I asked myself, did I bring out his fear of not being around me when I'm traveling so that he could protect me if something happened? But that fear came out in the form of insecurity and unfounded accusations. I was like, did I bring that to him? Did I bring that out? Did I attract that out? And then I just thought about all the different accusations. And I just remember how I just kept trying to defend myself. And the worse it became because I was focused so much on proving myself right. But fighting the accusations, I just kept more accusations coming because I was focused on the accusations coming at me. How am I going to defend myself? How am I going to defend myself? So I'm just letting more and more accusations come. And I never had the stamina for arguments. So he always overcame me. But I was still intent. I'm right. I'm right. I'm right. But you know, you cannot fight crazy. And if someone has it in their heart, a belief, you can't really fight that either. It doesn't matter if that belief is wrong. So, ladies, I'm not condoning any bad behavior on your part or his part or her part, however you're coupling up. But in any relationship, it takes two. And so you're going to have to go back within and really strip yourself bare and really dig in to find out who you were during that relationship. What did you bring? What did you attract to bring all of that crazy to you? And no matter what people try to say, well, it's not your fault, it's not your fault, it's not your fault. The laws of the universe never lie. Because when you focus on good, good keeps happening, good keeps happening. And you focus on the bad, and if you feel bad about yourself, and a lot of it is about the bad things that we think about ourselves. We may not speak it out to people, but we're thinking badly of ourselves. Because when I finally decided to marry this man, I was like, oh, am I going to spend the rest of my life alone? Or should I settle and have him? You see where the thought comes in. So again, we're not condoning anyone's bad behavior, but you have to understand that you contribute to these toxic relationships, whether you knowingly do it or unknowingly. And so all I'm asking is that you just take this with some grace and think about it. But as for me, I have done work. I'm not perfect. And I still got work to do. But in 2024, I have opened up to the possibilities of a relationship with a man again.